And we are off to the races here. We're live with round three of PhoebeWitte at the Split Open 2025. I've been told that it's actually supposed to be Split instead of Split, but I don't know if that's true or not because I've been hearing it both ways now. So, anyways, anyone here from Croatia? Hi, Physic. Hi, Sam. Hi, Beasley. Hello, Repulubo. Um, Anyways, we have Phoebe's opponent here. She is 0 for 2. Both players are 0 for 2. But I have a good feeling Phoebe's going to get on the board this time. Yes, she is playing a child. A young one. Thank you, Dave. A smartwatch? Is that against the rules? Uh-oh, can we get an arbiter? You feel more bad. Why would you feel bad? Why are you guys worried? Scared even? Free win, says Notchul. The terror on Phoebe's face. Phoebe's got a pleasant smile, as she always does. You see some nerves? Okay, Actier. Oh, Derp, thank you for the prime. That's seriously so kind of you. All right, here we go. Handshake. Clock started. With some assistance here. And now Phoebe already off. And here we go. E4. Switching it up from game one. Always sub before follow. If that's your policy, Derp, I'm not going to question it. But yeah, Derp, I think you also gifted me a sub to Asmoata earlier today. So that is another interesting point. All right, our opponent has already left. E4 and I mean, I can only speculate the shenanigans. Perhaps, I mean, there's like a million different things. It could be just the pure terror of E4. She was like, I watched round one. She played D4. I did not sign up for this. Does this mean we won? Yeah, it could be hungry. I'm not trying to be mean. There's just a lot of things that could go on when playing a child. They could be asking um, their mom for a snack, or maybe using the restroom. That's a popular one for sure. Hey, Logan, good to see you. Mental warfare. I don't expect that. Phoebe giving us a couple looks. She's got some water with her. Always good to be hydrated. Maybe looking at the next game over. Maybe not. Hi, Asmoata. Shout out to Asmoata. I mean, absolutely phenomenal job. It's really hard to commentate in general, and it's even harder to commentate after a class act professional such as Asmoata. I was watching her commentate, and she was giving the chat fun, exciting stories, you know. She even called her grandpa on stream to ask about a joke from childhood. Like I think the bar was set too high. It's very tough to follow that. So I am just going to apologize in advance beforehand to let you all know that if you have those high expectations for commentating, you might want to, just lower them a little bit for my sake. Thank you, G. It's hard to commentate the game when there's only been one move and not even a full. Okay, someone's talking to her now. They pointed at the clock. Maybe some bad news, actually. Asking to pause the clock, maybe? Something about the score sheet. I'm not a good lip reader. Okay, the opponent is returned. Hopefully everything is all right. Obviously, we'd like to see the game be played out normally. Okay, she might be a little nervous. It's a bit much to be playing, competing, and knowing you're on stream. There's still a lot going on. Okay, we have a Scandinavian. Are the watches allowed? I am not sure, but I don't think it matters. But okay, we've got the game going. Phoebe will take. I do think this is the best move. Likely we'll see the queen recapture. Hello, JVO. Okay, we have a gambit here, actually. Yeah, Derp, smart comment saying maybe hard to notate the moves on the board. I don't know. I feel like she seems to be doing fine. But yeah, I mean, it's even harder when you have the black pieces. There's no notation on the board. It is the DGT board, the fancy technology we have to send the moves online. Do we know how old she is? Maybe on the FIDE profile, it'll tell you a birth year. Okay, Phoebe captures. And the board is actually earlier than the video feed. I don't know. I could try refreshing the video and see, but all right, recapturing with the pawn here. This is already a questionable decision early. Usually when you gambit like this, you try to take back with the bishop, developing a minor piece and keeping the pawns intact on the king side. So, okay, born 2016, says G. Yogi redeeming hydrate. I'll hydrate in case Phoebe doesn't see it, but I suspect Phoebe will be hydrating later. She does have her water with her. Isn't this just losing for black, says Sam. Well, we'll have to see how Phoebe reacts to this. But queen check looks like a great start because if there's a block, we can go here, but okay, black can block with a piece. We're not actually winning the rook. This is something that you see a lot of times with the pawn on e5 and no f-pawn. Then you could take with check, and there's no time to block. The rook would be lost. So it's very close to winning a whole rook, but not quite. Master Chess Dojo with a raid of 9. Thank you and welcome. You're just in time to see the start of Phoebe's round 3 at Split Open 2025, the 14th annual Split Open. Tagbon saying that she's 9. That math checks out. So not even 10 years old, and probably will be better than me and perhaps even most of us in just a few years. That's usually how it goes. I started playing chess when I was 16. Phoebe only started a few years ago, but of course, Phoebe, as we all know, has been playing many tournaments, has been streaming for all these years, and honestly, just doing a great job spreading the game. Honestly, I had not even heard of the city Split, and I was calling it Split. So Phoebe's doing great work for the publicity, not only of this tournament, but just the city in general. I didn't even know that it existed. But I, of course, am an American. Okay, Phoebe just developing a knight. She was probably looking at this queen check line, but maybe didn't want to trade queens if black blocked. But okay, maybe that's a free pawn there. I don't know. But okay, there was also knight blocks. So nothing wrong with developing a piece. I'm doing well, Almany. How are you? We just give up on geography. Yeah, so apparently Split is in Croatia, which is in Europe, which I know all of the Europeans tuning in know that, but there are some Americans here, and I'm not just talking about Uncle Jesse, right? There's others that are lurking, I'm sure. Where's the white pawn on e7? It was traded. It was pushed to e6 as a gambit. That's true, Tagbon. Yes. Hello, Chelato. Joe Europe Chess Tour win. I did actually have the pleasure to meet not only Phoebe, but also Asmoata and also Sam and Eskia and so many more great people. Adnan. I met Yoel. And I would love to visit again. Who knows? Maybe I'll go to the next Split Open. I've been told that Croatia is a fun place. Night Fork, also an American. Can Joe name all countries? No. Nope. What's the young girls rating? I believe our opponent is unrated, actually. Yeah, I think I've never played GeoGuessr on stream before, but I think that'd be kind of fun. And when I say fun, I don't mean for me. I mean for the European audience to truly grasp just how ignorant us Americans can be. You guys probably already have an idea, but like seeing it in action is probably just a different level. So don't ask me where Croatia is on the map. Okay, Tagbon has two, and I'll tell you this: I've heard of Serbia, but yeah, Bosnia I've heard of. I don't know if I've heard the second part of that. What's the place? It's like Herzegovina. Hello, Kako. Were there any opening tactic? There was an opening mistake, I would call it, from our opponent. Slovenia, Kosovo, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Yeah, Tagbon said Bosnia and Augundazia, which I haven't heard of. Macedonia. I'm probably mispronouncing everything. So, yeah. I had this funny joke about Split. I said that I didn't understand or didn't know that it was pronounced Split because obviously reading it as an American, it looks like split. But my joke was, what's next? Are you gonna tell me that Nice, France is pronounced Nice? Get real. I know how things are pronounced, you guys. I know English. Anyways, sorry for repeating the joke for anyone that's heard it before, but hopefully there's some new people here. Hello, Bryce. Good to see you. Breeze. Bryce, are you from Europe? Okay, D4. Black has brought both knights out. So I think like honestly, when your opponent plays something unique or different or something you haven't seen before, something that even is questionable, right? Phoebe might understand that having the isolated e6 pawn is definitely a weakness. Not taking back with the bishop is probably wrong. And yeah, we see some annotation. Okay, they're getting looks like letters and numbers. So Derp's instincts were spot on with the annotation. And this will definitely be helpful. Yeah, it's even harder with black pieces for sure because you can't just, say the alphabet and count up. It's backwards. So, but yeah, this is a very sweet gesture. Always good to help out here. And honestly, I'm sure Phoebe's also happy. I'm just gonna I'm joking. I'm joking. I know it would help me out for sure. I mean, I've looked at some. I have a lot of these old score sheets here actually from the games I played back in Vegas, and I'm looking through and I'm like, I don't think that's a legal move. I'm looking at some of the, especially at the end. If I'm in a time scramble, I couldn't tell you how the game finished. I wouldn't know. And those boards even have the annotation in them, so I don't really have any excuses. Hey, Wavelino. Yeah, the notation on the DGT board, there's no notation with the board, so they've added these letters and numbers on the side with pieces of paper to help out. Uncle Jesse, time to be a coach. People are seeing your improvement. Shout out to Uncle Jesse for those of you that missed it or didn't know. Uncle Jesse passed 1300 rapid on chess.com. Huge milestone. Huge improvement. Huge W all around. And yeah, her success is making its rounds online through many forums and communities, and now Uncle Jesse's booked for coaching lessons. Her friends from far and wide are reaching out, and really, Uncle Jesse's taking the world by storm, 100 elo at a time. Some are worried there's no stopping her. She could surpass Magnus at this rate. Just give her a few more years. You heard it here first, folks. Don't sleep on the name Uncle Jesse. Remember it. Our biggest fear, the neon poodle. Um, have you guys heard of sharks? I think that'd be a much scarier opponent, right? I mean, shout out to the chess sharks. They'll eat your pawns, and that's not all. Hi Destin, good to see you. Yeah, our opponent has gotten up, but I think once you get past move one, the nerves start to settle a little bit, you know? The first move could be the scariest for sure. And it's important to be reassuring and accommodating and always be nice. I think that having the pieces of paper are really helpful. And yeah, I mean, that can definitely affect the play, maybe affecting how she recaptured on e6. But, you know, we still have a game. It's still very young, and we cannot let any of these early moves necessarily dictate. I think I was about to mention earlier that even though your opponent is playing questionably to start, doesn't mean that you can just go all out, right? And just expect more and more blunders. You still have to be solid. You still have to be on your toes. And I think Phoebe's doing a wonderful job. Phoebe's rating on chess.com it's showing 1598. Now, I've heard that it's not always the most accurate rating. So, you know, there's like a live rating, there's maybe a published rating. I'm sure people in the chat are smarter and know the truth if it's not right, but I'll just assume that it's right. And if even if it's not right, it's probably around there. Ah, it is indeed 1598 FIDE. That's great. So hopefully she can get some wins on the board. She's lost both her games to start. Her first opponent over 2,000 rated. And yeah, Asmoata watched both her first games. And now we're watching round number 3. And I mean, so far, so good. She's definitely got the advantage on the eval bar, as we all can see. And I mean, even looking at the position, of course, she's up a pawn. Opponent played a gambit and did not recapture on the on e6 with the bishop. So yeah, Phoebe, she just brings her knight, her bishop out, castles. I definitely know a lot of us probably would have been a bit more aggressive, I feel like, after seeing the capture on e6 with the pawn, maybe starting with the queen check, maybe putting the bishop on c4, right? Phoebe's electing to be a bit more passive here, and it's solid, right? One thing you don't want to do is overextend or be over aggressive when your opponent isn't playing very accurately or precisely, because if you make a simple mistake, all it takes is one move to mess up, and that advantage that you have could slip. And that really, you don't want to let your opponent back into the game by some simple mistake early on. So Phoebe's playing this out. Looks like we've got a smile there. Also, yeah, the opponent helped lift the spare queen. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but when they were looking at the notation, or maybe sitting at the paper, the queen got knocked over. So our opponent can pay attention to the details. These things can't be overlooked. Anyways, yeah. I wonder when we'll see Uncle Jesse's next OTB tournament. Maybe in Europe. Should be exciting. Uncle Jesse's going to TwitchCon NA, if anyone else is going. I went to TwitchCon in Europe, which is when I went to Netherlands and met a lot of people. Jesse's been wanting me to go to the North American one ever since we first met, which I was reminded was in Vegas and not in San Diego. Okay, opponent just played h6 really quickly. And opponent also has a time advantage, not significantly, but just noting it early on here. Phoebe's definitely taking more of her time. So bishop to g5 and h6 immediately questioning the pin. And also, I want to really point this out. Taking with the pawn obviously is a significant mistake in the structures of the pawn, but if you look at the castle that black has just played, then you'll notice the rook is actually on a semi-open file. So there could be a method, a reason, a purpose behind what we normally would consider not as good of a move. So maybe it could pan out and work out in our opponent's favor. McCribs mentioning checking the phone while you leave the board. So in my experience in tournaments that I've played in, you're not allowed to have your phone on you. And if you do have it on you, it has to stay off. Because if you're playing in a game and your phone is on and it's on you, that could be automatic grounds for forfeit. You could be removed. You could be forfeited that game if you're caught. So in my experience, these players don't even have their phones on them. And if they do, the phones are completely turned off. Even having the phone on silence is not good enough. So yeah, players are allowed to leave the board for sure. A lot of players will get up and walk around, or they'll need to use the restroom, but checking your phone during a game is definitely a major foul, if I can call it that. So good question though. I've heard a lot of people ask, like, are you even allowed to leave the board? So yeah, the rules can be very intriguing, very interesting if you've never played over the board before. I think most people playing chess are playing online. There was actually a clip that was published the other day by Emily Plays Chess, where she was playing against Boston Mike, famous chess hustler, and Boston Mike forgot to hit his clock. And so Tony from Chess Sharks and I were strongly encouraging Emily not to make any move, to run as much time off of Mike's clock as possible. So that's something that doesn't really happen online. You don't have to hit the clock when you're playing online. And you don't have to make legal moves when you're playing on the board. You can play illegal moves. The computer won't let you do that, unfortunately. As fun as that would be, maybe they could make a variant on chess.com where all the rules are out the window and you have to hit your clock. They could have a over-the-board simulator. No, I hope no one from chess.com is listening for many reasons, but the main reason being that they don't have to implement my crazy ideas. Okay, this isolated e-pawn that has been in question for most of this game is now being pushed to e5. So having an isolated pawn, the important thing is controlling the square in front of it, right? And black has two pieces supporting this. White has two pieces attacking. So we could potentially even see a queen trade, but we could also see perhaps a check. And I mentioned putting the bishop on c4 earlier. I think would have been probably a bit more solid, a bit more advanced, or maybe more aggressive in general. I love the bishop on c4. If you guys know me, I'm a e4 enjoyer, and more specifically, I play the Italian. So I'm a big fan of having the bishop on c4. One of the main reasons why is because it attacks the f7 pawn, and even if there's no f7 pawn, it would be attacking where the king is, ending up where it castles. So had the bishop been on c4, then e5 would not have been a legal move. But as I was saying, over the board, maybe she still plays it. because the computer wouldn't stop her. But no, I suspect the opponent wouldn't make an illegal move. Okay, so Phoebe captures with the pawn. And now the question here is, how does black recapture? There's two different ways. You could take with the bishop or you could take with the knight. Now, if you take with the bishop, Phoebe could trade queens immediately. And if you take with a knight, Phoebe can still trade queens after you trade the other knight. Bishop is forced to take. Then we trade queens. And then maybe we even take the knight and we give... I was going to say give black another isolated pawn, but I guess there's a bishop that could recapture. But maybe we could play f4, you guys. Maybe. Yeah. Opponent definitely, I think, is a little nervous. Definitely a little bit inexperienced, but learning as we go. And honestly, I think that's the best way to do it. A lot of people, I think, are nervous when they play over the board, especially for the first time. I don't think that's an understatement at all. I think a lot of people have this idea, and honestly, this is true in many areas in life, not just chess, but they're like, oh, I'm not ready. I'm not ready to play over the board. I need to get my rating up higher or whatever. But yeah, this is a major blunder. So Phoebe's winning a piece here. Bishop comes out to f5, and of course we forgot about this pawn that is attacking two different pieces. So my question to you all is, how would you recapture? What should Phoebe do? Take the knight or take the bishop? Maybe we could set up a poll here, because I think Phoebe's probably going to spend a decent amount of time here. I love when you have decisions in chess, and I think a lot of people maybe are like, I hate having decisions because I always choose the wrong thing, which is obviously very relatable. But that's part of like the game review and the analysis, right? You want to go back to these points, and ultimately, I think for this particular situation, I don't think it makes that much of a difference. I think either way, Phoebe's gonna be in good shape here. But of course, it's an interesting exercise nonetheless to see, like, how do we think we could maximize our potential, right? Asmo's saying I would take the knight. Cosmo's saying take the bishop. So we already have varying opinions here. And again, like I said, I don't think it's significant either way. You're winning a piece, right? But it's good practice to try to be as accurate as possible. And we could go back after the game and review and see, like, maybe verifying with the computer what actually is best. So the way to do that is by just looking at the variations, right? If we take the knight, we're threatening the pawn, threatening the rook with the discovery, right, which is pretty cool. And it's very difficult for black to recapture because the bishop is also putting pressure on the knight, right? So there's no immediate recapture for black unless they take with the pawn, which, as we had mentioned, kind of weakens this king a bit. Now, if we take the bishop, there's two ways that black could recapture, and we still have this pin, but maybe black takes with the pawn. If they take with the queen, we could trade into a piece up endgame. So I think just based off those quick initial calculations, I do think that taking the knight is probably most advantageous in the long run. And leaving queens on the board is actually really strong because notice we have this check, which is now also a fork because of the bishop on f5 that was just developed. So taking back here is actually a significant mistake because of queen d5, and that's exactly what our opponent has done. I would have maybe considered a move like g5 first, but still probably pretty bad if I'm being honest, because queen d5 was hitting hard. So let's see if Phoebe actually follows through with queen to d5. Would love to see this fork being played. And we would be up 2 pieces. So being up a piece is good. Being up 2 pieces is twice as good. I think that's some simple math there. Oscar is saying I'm getting the short shift today. Oh, the game is not over yet, but it's looking pretty good. What would Joe not do? There's a lot of things that I wouldn't do. Like, I wouldn't play the Scandi. I would start off. No shade to the great John Bartholomew. It's funny though. I was giving a lesson, and I always start with the opening of the game. I go over the opening principles, and I talk about getting fully developed. And part of that is that you don't want to bring the queen out too early, because the queen, obviously being a very powerful piece, can also get attacked very easily, right? And we love developing with tempo. And here we see Phoebe bringing her queen out with check and illustrating the strength that the queen has, right? Its mobility allows us to easily fork pieces. So Phoebe sees the check, she gives the check, and she's going to win the bishop in the process. So because the queen is such a strong piece, like I was saying, you could develop with tempo, right? And so the queen can get attacked after just knight c3, after you recapture in the Scandi. And I was showing that if the queen goes here, you have the bishop pinning the queen to the king. So just to illustrate, if black takes back, we play here, queen here. And this was just an example of like things that could go wrong if you bring the queen out too early. And of course, as I was giving this lecture, this opening lesson, John Bartholomew literally rated me. And I don't know anyone that is a bigger advocate for the Scandi more than John Bartholomew. And he was like, "Ah, yes, the Queen C6 Scandi, of course." So it was kind of funny timing. Um, but yeah, no, this obviously is going to be a quick game, but nice to get a win, nice to get on the board, and obviously we can feel bad for our opponent. But I do think it's important that we still play our best, right? And I'm glad that Phoebe, it seems to be playing her best. She's not holding back. Guess you unfollowed her. I mean, you should unfollow me for many reasons. So if the Scandi shade that I'm throwing is the final straw, let it be. That's fair. Um, okay. So also something really important to note is if the queen stayed on d5, black had a tactic to win the queen. Just saying. So maybe Phoebe brings, like, imagine, I was gonna say imagine that black kicks the queen, but the knight would deter us. Also, I mean, I don't think Phoebe would blunder her queen, but I'm trying to illustrate that there are ways that the game is not over yet. So it's not over until it's over. Phoebe has left the table. So, and I've played young opponents, many times. I've lost to them actually. So it seems like people are scared to play kids because you've got these little sharks that are child prodigies that I've actually lost to. It's funny because I lost to this kid. I was actually crushing him, and in time pressure, I obviously messed up and blundered. I lost my queen by touch move. I touched a pawn that I shouldn't have, and I had to take it, and I forgot it was defended. So, yeah. Anyways, I tried erasing that from my memory. I've told this story on stream before, actually. I have the score sheet. Maybe I can show you guys this guy. So he signed the paper. He had a pencil. This is our game. I don't know if I can get a a focus on. Uh, it's too bright. But you see, he didn't even sign his name, actually. It's just all caps, Tommy. And I thought I would forget about him. But it turns out that this kid is actually just traveling the world competing because I saw him again in a Dina Belenkaya clip where he got to play against Dina. And I know what you're thinking. Did he beat Dina? No, I don't think so. But he's going to be much better and stronger than me in no time. I mean, he's already better than me because he beat me, so I can't really say. But looking back at that tournament, I think I was his only win, which, I mean, good for him. He definitely played up and obviously was worth it to beat me. But anyways, okay. So opponent looks like they played king to f7. Hello to Screws. The man of the hour finally has arrived. Did Phoebe change her hair and height and age? No, there she is. Phoebe's back at the board. For anyone that's new here or confused, Phoebe is on the right with the white pieces. And Phoebe's opponent is on the left with the black pieces. Are we winning? Well, we're always winning when Screws is here. And I'd also like to say that we're winning whenever Phoebe is live, truly. So yes, we are winning. Now, as for the board and the situation we're in, we are winning there as well. Yes. So here I'm thinking a couple things, right? When we're in puzzle rush mode, when we're looking for tactics, we look for the checks, right? And we have a lot of them. Now, what I really notice is after queen check here, we're cutting the king off to just 2 squares. Now, I would love to have those squares cut off. I would love to have the rook on e1, and then we just give checkmate in one move. But the bishop's kind of in the way, so I'm also looking at this check. This check, though, the king has maybe some more options. And yes, the computer is saying it's mate in 6. Now, for the purists out there, the perfectionists that want mate in 6, do you guys want to guess the move? People saying mate in 6, do you see it? Or do you just see the eval bar? This is my question. And I will show you all the mate in 6 after maybe we have some people. Derp saying if it's not knight g5 check, I don't want it. Okay. Well, Oscar says knight g5 check, I think. I don't know how, like, did you guys eat your Wheaties today, or I don't know. Because, I mean, I'm not, I don't know. What do you guys, are you guys grandmasters or what? Yeah, sack the knight, sack the knight. How do you guys even start to think about knight how does knight g5 help you? Right? Okay, obviously the f pawn is pinned, but they could take with the h pawn, right? And now you've lost your knight, and for what? How does this help you? Knight g5, it opens the light square bishop, but the light square bishop's already open to this square. Knight g5. Also, the top response to knight g5 isn't even to take, by the way. It's to play king to e8. There's a funny line. Okay, so I suspect we have some grandmasters in the chat. I guess we'll look at it. I don't even think Phoebe would be calculating this, personally. I mean, I didn't consider it. I'll say that much. Maybe I shouldn't speculate for Phoebe's sake. So there's 2 ways to go. Here, and yes, now the bishop is opened up on this diagonal because we don't have the knight. So that's really helpful. That would be mate in 2 moves. Only 1 block, and then the game is over. And if you go here, now we give bishop check this way. And the king only has 1 move. And now we have the the final, the finish, the finisher. Finish him. Anyways, any Mortal Kombat fans? Do you think Phoebe hears the music playing in her head for Mortal Kombat? Do, do, does anyone else think that, or just me? No, it's not easy to see at all. I would bet that Phoebe doesn't play Knight G5. If Phoebe plays Knight G5, I'd be like, okay, we could show like a little mercy on the kid, right? I mean, come on, guys. Um, me personally, you guys, like, I think Rookie 1's good enough, right? Rookie 1 with Bishop D3. I mean, we could call it a day there, right? Anyways, it's funny though. I can switch on you sometimes. I could be like, "Oh no, you guys, we should really calculate and be a perfectionist here. We shouldn't show mercy due to our opponent's age or rating, you know." But then but then I see this move Knight G5 and it takes it all back. I'm like, I don't want her to quit, you guys. Like, yeah, try your best, but I mean, Knight G5 is she'll beat me in 5 years, maybe sooner than that. You'd resign after 1d4, Moista. That's probably the most reasonable. I hate playing against d4. You would offer a draw here as white or as black? I wouldn't be surprised maybe if black offered draw here. Asmoata with the evil laugh. She wants to play knight g. Asmoata would love to play knight g5 here. Asmoata's like, dude, mate in 6 against a 9-year-old every time. Every time, no hesitation. Anyways, no, I don't know. Maybe knight g5 is not so hard. We looked at h takes, which I thought was the obvious move, but the best move is actually king to e8. And now we play queen to g6. There's no block because that's mate in 1. So we can go to d7, and now we have bishop check, preventing the king from running away. Here, king to e7, and we have not rook e1, which I would probably be tempted to play, but instead we want queen to the 7th rank, check, followed by king to e8, and now we have the same mating motif. So ultimately, the king is going to get mated by the queen and the bishop in this line. Now, if the king goes up, oh, I guess the king can't go up. Yeah, rook f7's main 1, so yeah, knight g5 is a pretty good move, you guys. Yeah, the player next to our opponent keeps looking at the board. He's like, man, that's a pretty good position. But he's got to fight his own board. He's got his own struggles over there. You can't bear it anymore, Eskia. Alex went on a plane once. When? Just once? Okay. Phoebe has decided. She's starting with bishop c4 check. The great Italian bishop springing into action. How many times has that happened to me, Bishop Stars, that my opponent has quit? I I wouldn't know. Um, maybe I should follow up with all of my opponents ever and be like, "Hey, just checking in. It's been a year," or in my case, multiple years. Remember me? Uh, Alan's here. Hello, Alan. Celebrity. Okay, king on e8, and I know what I'm gonna do in this position. Wow, Alan, throwing shade. Who is this Joe guy, Solar Sun? I don't know. A lot of people ask, who is Joe? But not a lot of people ask, how is Joe? Just kidding. Uh, okay, rookie one check, obviously. This is the most obvious check of all time. Maybe not. Where's Joe? I'm in the state of Missouri, not to be confused with misery. I know they sound similar. Emily plays chess. Shout out to Emily. Hi, Emily. Good to see you. Hope Dale is well. I'm good. What is Joe? That's a great question, Alan. Shout out to Drax. Any Marvel fans out there? I would say Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite Marvel's franchise. Is that what I call it? Universe? I guess it's all the same universe. What's a Joe? It's a good question, Rosie. X-Men, Hams? Who's your favorite X-Men? Is it Charles Xavier? He's probably pretty good at chess, right? I think Charles Xavier would probably probably be good. Unless he's playing Magneto, right? You didn't like Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3? Hmm. Not as much as the others. It's hard to have three great movies in the same trilogy, you know? I think Lord of the Rings has set the bar pretty high. Also, I think I like John Wick, Star Wars. What are some other good trilogies? Uh, The Godfather? I'm running out. Who's your hero, man? My hero, well, Guardians of the Galaxy, I love like all of them. But if I had to choose one, it would probably be Groot. I think that his lines are pretty good. Okay, rookie one check has been played, and man, I don't think I've seen a rook happier than that rook. Have you guys seen a happier rook than that? Also, is there a way that I could blunder uh some back rank mate? No, I have a bishop here. I'm trying to find ways for white to lose, and it's like kind of foolproof, honestly. So, um, yeah, Phoebe's doing well. You guys don't even need me to. Me commentating this game is like, I don't know. Who needs me here to tell you that white's winning? Okay, knight block on e7. And now we have a couple ways to win. It's funny, this move is kind of tempting. Like, we want to give a check, but notice our queen is covering d7. So there are some temptations, I would say at least, to play bishop to e6. But then the knight's no longer pinned. So then our queen hangs. Groot means something in Dutch? I don't know. I'm good luck. Maybe. I don't know if I can take too much credit. Also, shout out to Giant Pixels. How many people are watching in both chats, by the way? Groot equals big. I love that because Groot also has the word root in it. Would you say that root is the root of Groot? Now I want to make like a tongue twister. I'm trying to think of more words that rhyme with root, like boot or toot. Cute? That's starting to get to be a stretch at that point. Eskia's dual wielding and Deshin, absolute legends. And and Eskia is saying the same thing in both chats. Man, dude, Eskia is working a double shift as a viewer. Um, but yeah, Groot obviously is like a tree based life form, if I could call it that. So root makes sense because plants have roots, and he's kind of like a big root, sort of. But Groot means big in Dutch, apparently, and he is pretty big. Except, I guess, Volume 2, he's pretty small, so it doesn't work as well. Yeah, Indiana Jones, also a good trilogy. Um, okay, but yeah, Giant Pixels. You gotta tune into both chats to see what Giant Pixels has to say. But yeah, I was talking about Groot, so you guys distracted me a little bit. But I wanted to take this opportunity to mention that there are other franchises with mythical tree-like life forms. And really, I just want to talk about the Ents from Lord of the Rings because I just want to talk about Lord of the Rings. So, uh, shout out to Treebeard. He was really the original Groot. Groot, I guess, just kind of an imitator. Just kidding. Kahoot, I like that one. Supernova. Flute also is good. um, okay. Anyways, this position. Do you guys see there's a chess game going on right now? Maybe we should think about it a little bit. Um, okay. So there is Mate in 12, and I'm sure all of you have seen it by now. Maybe not as easy as the Mate in 6 that we saw with Knight G5. If we do a post-game interview, which I'm planning on, should I ask Phoebe why she didn't play Mate? Should we ask Phoebe if she maybe let the foot off the gas a little bit? Right? Say, Phoebe, we all saw the Mate in 6. Were you thinking about your opponent's future career in chess, not wanting her to quit? Because that's honestly a very kind deed. Shout out to Phoebe ensuring the next generation of chess players will continue. More commentary time. Yeah. Phoebe's getting the most out of the host. Okay, that really shouldn't have been that funny to me. I don't know, something about rhymes just it 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 scratches the brain in a good way. Yes, Joe Minteri, of course. You would play Queen H5 and Bishop E6 to get the king out. Ah, here, here, and then if we had B5 under control, queen here would be mate, but we don't because our bishop's here now. So, what would be our follow-up? It's a good idea. And then the knight. Oh. Oh, and then queen. Why does that look like it's mate a lot sooner than it is? Queen h5, which she's played. All right, you guys, she's on the path to mate in 12. Actually, the computer changed its mind. It's mate in 8 now. Phoebe is stronger than the engine. The computer's like, it's mate in 12. And Phoebe's like, nah, it's mate in 8. So, so yeah, if it's king d7, it's mate in 3. Bishop check, king to c6. And then, as expertly pointed out by Cosmo, the knight comes in with knight d4 check, which forces the king to its final resting place on b6. And we do have control over that b5 square, like I mentioned, thanks to the knight check. Not only checking the king on c6, but let me show you guys this line. This bishop check is pretty nice, defended by the rook, preventing the king from finding shelter on c8 and flushing the king out into the exposed c6 square and getting mated by queen and knight combo. Usually the pawns are in front of the king. This is a castle gone wrong. The king should be in home. This is the king on the roof like a fiddler. But of course the king doesn't have to move. We could see the rook block, which looks to be like a free rook, but it's doing a very important job of extending the king's life. The rook's life worthless in the eyes of the king. That's not true. It's worth like exactly 5 moves if the engine is right. The engine was lying to us just a move prior, really. Okay, so opponent did play rook f7, throwing the rook with total disregard for its own personal safety. It's all about the king, you know? The greedy, greedy king expensing all of its troops' lives just so that it can survive for just a handful more moves. And really, that's why, as an American, I can't support the monarchy. You know, that rook could have been me, you guys. That rook could have been any of us, really. Okay, so here again we have a decision, right? Queen takes or bishop takes. No, I'm not gonna lie. Some of us are probably bishops. You know, I'm sure some of us might even be knights. The way that we move, you know, we like to stand out, just be different. It is Sunday, the Lord's Day, and we've all gathered here, maybe because we're a bishop, or maybe because watching Phoebe play chess is our religion. I see a lot of you here every time because I am here every time. No, I'm not gonna lie. It's tough when Phoebe starts her streams like at 2 a.m. my time, which is her morning. I guess technically also my morning. See you later, Justin. Good to have you. Thank you, Chessweeb. Good to see you. Okay, so queen takes technically was the slower way. The queen's power, I think, on the 5th rank is not to be undermined. Best was bishop takes, and then there's king f8. So where that rook was blocking the king. That selfish rook was taking up the f8 square. But after queen takes, king d7. Now if we do the bishop check, notice that there's no queen to b5 main anymore. That rook sacrificed itself to distract the queen from the 5th rank access. Oh yes, chess weave. Not everyone knows that the knight moves in the L shape. We have to state that sometimes. Otherwise people will pretend like they know, or they'll be too nervous or embarrassed to ask. But I am not ashamed to say that the knight moves like an L in any direction, mind you. A lot of people think that the L only looks like that because it's how you read it in English. But not everyone speaks English, actually, which is a surprising fact to an American. I assumed everyone knew English because I know English, but it turns out there are actually more countries in the world than the US and England. There's also different variants of English. I went to both Ireland and the Netherlands, and it's hard to understand them sometimes. Um, no, I'm joking. um, Honestly, no, it's there's also Canada, apparently. Okay, so queen check. Phoebe's leading with the queen. The queen is leading the charge, getting really intimate with the king. Just, rubbing elbows with royalty here, which is how I felt when I met Asmoata at TwitchCon. Basically, we both had access to the partners lounge. It's funny because neither me nor Asmoata are partnered on Twitch, but I luckily had access to the Collegiate Chess League Twitch account, which is partnered. But how did Asmoata get into the partners lounge at TwitchCon? She had something even more powerful than than a partner's badge. Partner's badges are for schmucks, like people like me that have staff access to other partner channels. Asmoata had an all access badge provided by Twitch directly. I hacked Asmoata, she had full access to the whole venue. They couldn't stop her. They tried. Because swiping into the partners lounge, it detected she wasn't a partner. The thing tried to stop her, and then she waved her all access badge, and the staff member there was like, my sincerest apologies, right this way. Frontline, just skip everyone. Unstoppable. Yeah. So shout out to Asmoata. Let that be a lesson to you all. If you ever need to get into high security places, for whatever reason it may be, you're going to TwitchCon, or maybe you're going to like a bank, I don't know, an embassy maybe. Just some classic ideas. Just your usual Tuesday for Asmoata. She probably still has that badge, and it probably works at places outside of TwitchCon, probably. I'm not one to question the power that Asmoata holds. I am just in a place of respect because I've seen it firsthand, and I think you guys would see her differently if you saw the power that she wielded that day. Okay, there are people tuning in that have probably never seen me or heard of Asmoata before. So just I might sound like a crazy person, but I think this is reasonable. You definitely should tune into Asmoata's. Asmoata was commentating both games beforehand, and Phoebe lost both of those games. Now, is there a correlation? I I don't think so, but I mean, if I was Phoebe, I'd be nervous too if Asmata was watching me play. So, okay, knight to d4. And this move, Phoebe is constructing a mating net. This knight doing a very important job of controlling the c6 square. So as you can see, queen check and bishop check are going to get the job done here. This is mate and 2 lined up. Black has to react to this in some way, shape, or form. And how to do that? Well, the king needs some space, so maybe we move one of these two pieces. Maybe. But the computer also likes this move, bishop to e5, actually. Okay. Wow, that's mate in 1, actually. Queen g8. But Phoebe might go queen f7. What do you guys think? You think we'll see mate in 1 on the board? Taking full advantage of the pin on the knight by the rook? I think she plays it. I think she'll find this. Plain and simple as that. The king had a square to run away. I said we need more space for the king, but that one square was taken up. I said the rook was greedy on f8, or selfish, really. It turns out the queen is even more selfish. There's a power dynamic in this relationship, and now I can see which piece is really wearing the pants. And that queen's like, listen, the king has been in charge the whole time, and it's just been a mess from the start. So I'm going to take things into my own hands. Also, I will say this. If I know Phoebe, she is a glutton for queen trades, if I can put it that way. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. She's not trading queens here, you guys. Imagine a queen trade. Yeah, Giant Pixels, listen, I wasn't the only one thinking it. I can say it, all right? There's an elephant in the room, and that elephant is the queen on d7. Phoebe's fighting every fiber in her being to not take that queen right now. When you find mate in 1, look for better. And Phoebe's thinking it might be that queen trade. There's got to be that meme where it's the guy who's like looking back at a different girl and the other girl on his other side's like upset. And the guy in the middle is Phoebe. Oh my God, no way. No way. No way, dude. She actually traded queens? Unbelievable. Phoebe, somebody make that meme that I was just describing. Phoebe's looking at the queen trade, and then the other girl is the mate in 1. Eski is on it, dude. I got my meme-making man right there. He sees the vision. Destrin quits. Our opponent's future chess career has been saved at the expense of Destrin's. It's for content. You guys, I thought the game was gonna end right then and there. I mean, okay. Holding up for just a second. I thought knight d6 to threaten mate in 2, right? With the old queen f7. I guess she still saw queen f7, and I thought that would also be mate, but there's a queen block there. Oh man, that's brutal. Yeah, we had ye old mate in 1 due to knight pin, but unfortunately missed. And that queen trade turned out to be more tempting than I originally thought. But yeah, take care, Oscar. Please ask her why she did. Yeah. I mean, listen, guys. If you enjoy playing chess, wouldn't you too like to keep the game going a little bit longer, right? If you play mate in 1, you are a chess hater. You hate playing chess because That's how you end the game right then and there. Then guess what? You can't play no more because the game finished. So Phoebe enjoys chess more than most of us. Anyone that would have played Mate in One there, you're not a real fan. Let's just put it that way. What's up, Lance? Good to see you. Send on Discord. Can I can I show this on stream? This is actually so good. This is so good. Hold on. I gotta work on this. Let me work a little bit of OBS magic here. This is truly the content that Phoebe is delivering. I don't know if you guys realize this. Usually there's like an open with browser kind of deal going on. Hmm. Um, yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a while here, folks, while before the game ends, unless, I mean, there's no world where our opponent's resigning. I think this game's finishing with checkmate on the board, and I don't know, what's the over under on how long that'll take? I think we could be here another 20, 30 minutes. So we might as well have a good time, you know? That's what it's all about. Lance, our opponent is unrated. This very well could be opponent's first tournament. Okay, how do I want to show this? This is honestly some glorious stuff. You jinxed it, Dashan? No, I mean, listen, we get to hang out a little bit more. I'm happy. Um, I'm just gonna show this meme. It's honestly too good. I'm gonna keep the background template as well, like a true professional. Maybe. Okay, so here's the masterful work of the one and only great Esquia. Esquia's. Okay, so here, just to illustrate what we witnessed here, Phoebe's created a mating net, right? The king's gonna escape here, but okay, king comes back, and now knight d4. We're lining up mate in 2. So the queen steps up, and this blunders because the king can't go there anymore. Queen to g8 is checkmate in one move because the knight is pinned. And of course, what does Phoebe do when given the choice between mate in 1 and the queen trade? What is it that we see? We see the queen trade. Phoebe couldn't resist. Queen takes d7. And the game continues on. Phoebe trading the pieces down. And yeah, Phoebe, she's taken the knight, she's taken the bishop, and she's up knight, bishop, and rook, and 2 pawns. So we could see Phoebe's probably going to bring her bishop back somewhere. Well, you know, the bishop, there's so many different ways the bishop could move. Bishop could even go forward, actually. Okay, bishop back to d5. Offering a rook trade, which would further Phoebe's cause. for simplifying. You think she should resign? I don't think she's resigning. Also, I don't mind if people don't resign. I think it's their right not to. Um, okay. Rook saves the B pawn and stays on the board. I think rook e6 though is a pretty good move, picking up another pawn and allowing the other rook to enter the equation as well. Dude, I mean, talk about the production, the speed in which we took an idea and created a meme and then showed it to the world. I mean, the internet can be truly a beautiful place, and I think Phoebe will get a kick out of that as well. Yeah, you saw David Lance. That's awesome. David, shout out to David. David's interested in commentating too, so that'd be cool. Maybe we'll get Lance and David to collab. Um, Luckily they were on. They saw each other at Oceanside. Yeah, are you in the San Diego area now, Lance? You would flag Phoebe? It's possible. She does have the time advantage on Phoebe. Phoebe, they looked at each other and smiled for a moment. Opponent probably tried blundering mate in one just to get it over with, and Phoebe she didn't realize Phoebe's only kryptonite is the queen trade. That's awesome, Lance. No, I think she's gotten over her nerves, which is great. And hopefully this is just the beginning of our opponent's chess journey. Yes, mate and Nate, but if you guys remember earlier, I think the computer finding mate actually doesn't have any impact onto what the players will play. So, yeah. And that's what makes chess exciting, is that you never know what's going to happen. Eval bar doesn't take into account human error. In fact, no one can play like the eval bar. Unless, of course, you're what's that guy's name from the last PogChamp, Doctor or something? Dr. Lupo? Yeah. But, we can't all be as good as Dr. Lupo. What's up, PMD? Good to see you. Yeah, of course Phoebe will know. Phoebe will never mess this up. I like that she brought the second rook in instead of taking the pawn. I think it's a nice touch. So, how would I finish this out? I'm like, maybe. It's a good question. King always has this square. If I start with that, I don't know. I don't think it matters too much, actually. There's too many ways to win, honestly. That's what's taking so long. Phoebe can't decide how she wants to win. There's too many options. And this is a good way to flag your opponent, actually, is you give them too many ways to checkmate you. They can't choose one, and then they'll just end up flagging. Phoebe truly is suffering from success in this position. So much so that maybe black has a chance. Just throw in a g4 check. Throw all the pawns away to the wayside. Phoebe could grab a couple pawns. I currently see 3 of the 4 pawns are hanging. Right? And again, it's too many options. How do you even decide? Okay, rook lift. And there is a world where Phoebe blunders a back rank mate. That is not ruled out. Again, though, it's kind of foolproof. It's not foolproof. There are some fools that would move this knight somewhere. No, but she's got both rooks on the only open file. And she's looking for a skewer, actually, with this last move. Phoebe has some of these ideas. She's not stopping until she takes every last piece. Phoebe could, I mean, I'm not gonna put it past Phoebe to think that she's gonna take every piece, every pawn, and then she's gonna promote. She's gonna make 6 queens. She's gonna go from DGT board to DGT board, collecting as many queens as she can. I'm joking. I actually would never imagine Phoebe could do something like that. That would be that would be the most rude thing I think Phoebe could humanly be capable of doing in this situation. That would be unheard of. Stalemate actually I think stalemate's pretty hard to do, actually. I think stalemate is more impressive than checkmate at this stage. She should be awarded a 1.5 if she could pull off a stalemate. But I mean, I could see a way that black could stalemate. I couldn't. You would have to get rid of all your pawns somehow. It would be like Martin level gameplay to pull off a stalemate as white. Why even mention it? Don't blame me. Blame Twisted Seed. Aren't you in both chats, Dustin? Just ask Asmo. Well, I mean, Asmo did it with what, 2 pawns? Did she ever do it with 1? I feel bad not knowing. But no, honestly, black is, if you go here, and you know, you take rook sack, king takes, it'd be a stalemate. If both these pawns didn't exist, the king went here after this check, black would have no legal moves. So I can see a way for black to stalemate. White, I think it's a bit more difficult. Martin Bot beats Alex in 6 moves. That's a headline for sure. But, you know, Alex, she had the bravery to take on Martin. I definitely haven't lost to Martin. No. It's just, if you haven't lost to Martin, you haven't tried enough. I'll say that much. Shout out to Alex. She's pushing the she's giving Martin an experience that he's never he may never experience. Okay, this is a pretty good check. It wins the rook. But she might also grab the pawn with check. Yeah, Derp has a whole catalog of clips. Okay, so it's mate in 4, at least 3 different ways. Starting with, you could do rook f3 check. You could do h3, which would be kind of rude. You could do rook to g3. Rook to g3 followed by check and mate. Yeah. I think she'll give rook f3 check. Yeah, there she goes. Which is on pace for mate in 4. Now, here there's only one legal move. King to g4. And then you can give h3 check. The king has now 2 options. If you go here, then that's checkmate in 1. So you'll probably go here to defend the pawn. And then you probably have g4 and then mate. You force the king to h4 anyways. Now, opponent's going to play king g4, only legal move. And now we'll see if Phoebe plays the mate starting with h3 check. Or she could grab the free rook. We might have to bring that meme out again. No, it wouldn't be as good though. It's now we're comparing mate in 3 to free rook. But it doesn't get any better than mate in 1. Honestly, I don't even think Phoebe let me finish my meme analogy before she traded queens. She kind of cut me off. No, it's not. It's not that way. I was too slow. I can't blame Phoebe's speed. I honestly believe she was gonna play mate in 1, but that queen trade was just. I said she was fighting every fiber in her being. She lost that fight. She caved. She gave in to the queen trade, dude. I mean, that's just vintage Phoebe, just classic Phoebe. And I don't know why I didn't think she'd do it, but she still did it. Really, it's a highlight. We could have missed out on all this. But Phoebe delivers. Never a dull moment in a Phoebe game. And luckily for us, there's going to be more chess to come in the next few days. This was a 2-game a day here for Phoebe. Very impressive. Usually that's a thing in American tournaments, but they do it every now and then in Europe too, I guess. But yes, Phoebe didn't take the rook. She's following the mate in 3. She's given the h3 check. Now, opponent probably should blunder mate in 1, and that's when Phoebe would take the rook. Just kidding. That's a joke. Opponent's going to play, king h5 played. It was a 50-50, and she chose the right option. Now, g4 will force the king to h4, and Phoebe will have mate in 2. So we'll see if she follows through. You can also give the knight check, but the problem is that the knight is doing a very important job of guarding g5. So yeah, Phoebe's going for the mate. She sees it. g4 check on the board, and we'll have mate in 1 next. Only one legal move here from the king. King to h4 is forced, and Phoebe will finish with a very nice rook takes h6. Now, someone said that taking the rook is straight out disrespect. I disagree. But after g4, now I think taking the rook would be disrespectful. Because then the king could take, and then that pawn taking too, and but no. Rest assured, Phoebe Phoebe plays main one, surely. And I, yeah, I mean, I believe Phoebe would play main one earlier, but when you don't play main one at first, you play main one the second time. And there you have it on the board. Handshake. The game is done. Phoebe gets on the board, her first win of the tournament. And an exciting, thrilling one at that, of course. Never really in doubt after her opponent played the Scandi. But still, good for Phoebe to play it out and get the job done. So stick around, you guys. We'll have, I'm sure, an exciting interview. Lots to talk about here, lots to digest. We'll quickly go over the game. From the start, we had e4 from Phoebe, so switching things up from round one, where she played Queen's Gambit. And we have a Scandi from Black, a Gambit, and now here, Black really should take with the bishop to develop a minor piece and keep the pawns intact, but Black actually takes with the pawn here. And now Phoebe plays just some really solid chess. She develops her pieces, she gets castled, and opponent gives up a pawn and a piece here, not taking back the pawn, unfortunately. And now Phoebe really damages the king structure, gets the fork, picks up another piece. And here we see Phoebe creating a masterful mating net, and of course the infamous queen trade. Oh, another handshake there, probably with the parent, maybe. But yeah, this is the move of the game for sure, the queen trade. The move that will live on in infamy, as they say. And then, yeah, another mating net here with the pawns and the rooks. So well done to Phoebe. Let's see if we can get a call going. Interestingly, I hear actually the video this whole time is at audio, but I muted it, which I think is good. But maybe we could have listened into some of they had like a couple conversations maybe about the board annotation. But yeah, stick with me here for a moment, you guys. She's about to join us for an interview. My question to myself truly is, do I have something ready for that? Let's see. Wing it as usual. Yeah, if you guys have any questions for Phoebe, please be sure to put them in the chat, and I'll try my best to get to them. Knowing me, though, I'll probably forget or miss it. But, okay, please have the meme ready for the interview. You know the question. Okay, Destin, the obvious question. What? You guys want me to ask if she saw Maiden 1? I don't think she saw it, you guys. I have a hunch. I'm muted now. Oh no. Actually, I don't think I'm muted. I think I'm only muted for Doodly. I think you missed me. It'd be more subtle. See, this is why you should be getting the interviews, not me. Debated. Well, When Phoebe's ready to call, we'll take the call, and then I'll try to add her camera as best I can. At least show her the meme. Should I send it over? Should I just put it on the broadcast? Or should I show her on Discord? Leak every DM. Tempting. Let's see. Phoebe is most likely trying to find a comfortable place where she isn't going to be distracting any players. That or she's looking for more queens to trade. I don't know. Okay, here we go. That was a joke, you guys. That was a joke. Okay, here we go. Oh, she's listening to me on the stream. Oh no. You guys, she's in on it. Okay.
Wait, mute.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear me, good please? I don't have AirPods, so I'm speaking into my laptop.
Hello, Phoebe.
Hello, can you hear me good?
Yes.
Yes?
And you've
Okay,
taken
because I
over the
don't have
whole
any phone.
no, that's okay. Congrats on the win.
Thank you. She was very cute.
Yeah, that was honestly, I think maybe a rough start for her, but
Wait, I leave my thing on. It seems like I'm not wearing any clothes if I take this off.
here, let me try to
Okay.
make this so that I'm on there as well. Hi, how's it going?
Good, good. How are you doing? How was the commentary?
We were having a great time watching you play, and I think very smooth win start to finish. Were you ever in
Yeah,
any doubt?
I feel like I had a mate, but I just didn't calculate it.
At what point?
When my queen and the bishop were really nicely placed. Yeah, I feel like I missed something.
Do you
I feel like I
do you
missed.
think it was like a mate in 12 or a mate in 6 or like a mate in 1?
I would say made in 3 or less.
Ah, okay. Well, you had all of those at one point. Um so we created a meme for you, Phoebe, to help you pinpoint exactly where you missed it.
Oh no, thank you guys.
Do you wanna see it on stream maybe?
Yeah,
Okay, I have it ready here. Are you watching the stream?
yeah, I'm watching this stream.
Okay. There it is. Wait, hold on. So, if you look at the game, you remember when your opponent offered a queen trade?
Oh, I knew I had something there.
Yeah, you had queen to g8 mate in 1 because the knight's pinned by your rook. And
I was looking at it and I was like, no, no, because the knight can block, let's just keep it easy, get the queens off the boards.
classic Phoebe, honestly. I was a fool for thinking anything less because I believed you would find and play mate in 1, but I should have known. We have the Phoebe ways of old.
Yeah, I totally missed it all. Because I just had a nice mate in the end.
You did. That is true. You had your two rooks. You resisted the free rook for mate.
Yeah, because of the mate, I saw the mate.
Yes. So
That mate I did.
that's good. That's good. And I'm glad to know that the free rook doesn't tempt you as much as the queen trade.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I felt like I had something. Yeah, that's yeah.
Well, there it was.
Should have gone there.
It's okay. I think that some things just never change, and it's good to know you're sticking to your roots.
Yeah, you can take the queen out of the chess, but yeah, I don't know how to say this. I was about to say the thing. I don't know how it goes.
I don't know what you're going. I thought for a second on how I could bail you out, but I was like, it's too far gone. There's, I'm just gonna let you sit in that for
My
uh
God,
but yeah, honestly, we were all very happy at the end that you still got the win and you gave us like I don't know, this was move 20 and it lasted move 36. So it's like 16 more moves of free entertainment.
16. We can just say it was a mate in 16.
True. And also on top of that, I think that we were also concerned that if you had played too well, that your opponent might not want to continue playing chess anymore. So
Oh,
that was,
she
I
was
think,
so sweet because she had to cry because there were no coordinates next to the board. And I was trying to help her, that she could take over my coordinates. And then after a while, the arbiter printed out coordinates and put it on the side of the board.
yeah, that was very sweet for sure. And I was saying that it was helpful for me too because it's difficult from the black piece's perspective, because everything's
Exactly.
backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad they did it for my sake as well.
Yeah, no, I'm happy. I needed a win.
You need, at the expense of your opponent. What if she
Yeah, but
she needed it too,
still,
right? Or no?
she seemed still very happy and she yeah, she was smiling a lot, so I think
Okay.
it's okay.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, she didn't start off smiling, but she I think had her nerves eased a little bit after the first move.
Yeah, she was very sweet, very cute.
So, how many more wins can we expect in the rest of this tournament now that you've gotten your first one? It's all wins from here on out, right?
Um, yes, so seven more rounds. I feel like I'm just starting. Um, seven more rounds. So I'm aiming for 50%. So that's four more wins.
Okay, I thought you were gonna get 7 more wins, but we'll see. Something between that, right? I guess. And
4 and 7.
you also had Alex commentate the first 2 games, which obviously didn't end as well. So does that change your idea for who will be commentating in future rounds?
No, no, I, my, my previous opponents were just very strong.
Uh,
Um, I knew that was gonna get a win with your commentary because I always get wins when you commentate.
well, you should maybe schedule me in your tournaments like more strategically. You could have put me in
But
round one.
I put you on all the dates you were available.
Oh, so it's my fault,
Um,
I guess. That's my bad. I'm sorry,
did
guys.
not, did not say that.
You're outing me, Phoebe. I was actually I told you if we go back, should I leak our Discord DMs? I was available for round one.
No, but you were no, but I really like Alex commentary.
What? What does that say about me?
No, but she already said she could do
I'm joking.
one.
I'm joking. No, of course I actually really like Alex's commentating as
But I
well.
also like your. I didn't mean to say that I don't like your commentary. I feel like I'm making it worse.
No, no, it's okay. Some things you don't have to say, Phoebe. We just know already. No, but I'm happy to do my part if I helped you get the win. But I honestly think it was all you.
Well, I think it was also you. So thank you for taking the time to commentate on my game.
It was a team effort.
Yes, it was a team effort. Who says chess is a one-person game?
True.
Oh, that
And
sounds very suspicious. I shouldn't say that when I'm playing a tournament and streaming. That sounds, yeah.
well, you also have all your fans to thank. They were here supporting you every move of the way. I think we were a little concerned about the queen trade, but you got the job done in the end. And I was very impressed at how quickly we could turn over. Do you want to guess who made the meme?
Was it Cosmo?
No,
Um, was it Derp?
not quite. Honestly, you guys, if she guesses you, I think that's a high compliment. I would be honored if she guessed it was me, but we all know it wasn't me.
Was it Fly?
No. I think I would go with what Bishop Stars guessed, but it wasn't them either. Now it was in. We got to figure out this shared chat one of these days, Phoebe, but it's okay.
Yeah, I'll look at it tonight because I think if I log in into Chrome, it should maybe work. Yeah, I'll try it out for tomorrow.
It's okay. I don't think it's a big deal, but do you want to keep guessing or should I just tell you?
Was it you?
It was not me. I don't have that talent.
Um, was it Askia?
It was. But again, it was a team effort. I mean, we all saw it was like watching a train crash in slow motion. We all saw the main one, and then we saw the queen trade option. We're like, oh no,
Oh no.
couldn't possibly go for the queen trade, could she? But of course, you proved us all wrong. And honestly, we should not be so surprised. This is classic Phoebe behavior. So the temptation was too strong, and it was just instant content. So I think you delivered for sure.
Oh, that's so funny. I wish I could say I did it on purpose, but I didn't. It's just,
It was
I guess
instinct.
it's just instinct.
Yeah, I was joking that you would have this internal struggle to play main one, but I guess it helps that you didn't even see it. You were just distracted by the lure of the queen trade. It was too much.
Queen trade.
You couldn't overcome it. Yeah. Which is hence the meme was born and we have an instant classic. So, yeah.
That is very funny. Well, yeah.
Well, thanks again, Phoebe. It's been an honor and a blast, and everyone was glad you got
Thank,
your first of many wins out of the way here.
thank,
And who knows? Now, next time you have a queen trade, maybe you'll think about it a little bit more, but maybe not. We'll have to tune in next time to find out.
I will. I will. I will think about it.
Okay, someone clip this for the next time she queen trades. No, no. Of course, what's gonna be unfortunate though is like sometimes trading queens is actually the best move, and then you might hesitate to do that now because you're like, oh god, I know the chat's gonna roast me again if if I trade queens. But anyways,
Anyways, thank you so much, Joe. I really appreciate you doing commentary today. Are you doing more rounds? I'm
uh,
looking at the schedule.
honestly, I should know
Yeah.
too, but let's see.
Yes, August 15
There I am on Friday, you guys, same time. So I'll see you all
on
again then.
fun Fridays.
So we know that's going to be another win.
Yes, so already one win secured, then 6 more to go.
Yep, you have Alex back at the helm the next 2 rounds. So tomorrow,
Yeah,
you guys, same time, and Tuesday, same time. And Wednesday, same time with PMD. I don't know if have I ever seen PMD commentate before?
Oh yes, we have PMD commentary.
Is that gonna be his debut?
I don't know. PMD, is this your debut? Your first time?
He's never solo commentated. Very exciting.
So very exciting.
Okay,
That's
well,
gonna be fun.
yeah, and then Friday, that's gonna be you have another double round on Friday actually. You're gonna have Joel first and then me. Oh, and then you finish strong with back to back from Sam.
Yes,
That's an
yes.
exciting lineup there. So also for any of you curious how I was able to find that so quickly, it's actually in Phoebe's Discord. So please be sure to join there, and you can find out early who's commentating. And that way you can decide your schedule in advance. You know, if you see that, okay, Alex is commentating again, maybe Phoebe's not going to win. I don't know. You'd have to think about it. But, you know, I'm going to be back on Friday. So just be sure to mark that on your calendar. And I'll see you all then.
Yeah.
Just
Thank
kidding.
you. Thank you so much. Thank you, chat. Thank you for promoting my Discord, Joe.
It's useful. It has really good information. You know, just I don't want people to have to waste their
It
time, you
does.
know, figuring out who's commenting. No, I'm joking. Obviously, I'm very lucky and honored to be in such a talented cast of commentators, and I really think it goes to show just how amazing and supported you are, Phoebe. Everybody loves you. Everybody's rooting for you, and everyone's excited to tune in to watch your games, regardless of who's commentating. You could show your games with no commentators and people would still tune in and support you. So we're all lucky that you're streaming the games, and I hope everything is going well in Spleet otherwise.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. And thanks to everyone for watching today and supporting me. I really appreciate it. And I'll hope to see you guys tomorrow at 5 again.
That's great. And I guess I'll let you get going, and we'll probably find someone to raid.
Oh yeah, are you gonna keep on streaming or otherwise I'll follow whoever you rate.
I will not, so I will be heading out.
Okay, then you can choose someone to rate.
Ooh, the pressure's on. Okay, I guess I shall begin my search. If anyone has any suggestions, I'm sure we'll be gladly happy to take. Ooh, I hear Anamaya is live.
Okay.
All right, our search was quick.
Then I'll also rate Anamaya.
Great. Okay, thanks everyone, and we'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.
See you. Bye.
All right, thanks again, everyone. You're all amazing, incredible, and appreciated and talented, and I could go on, but I must send you all off to Anamaya. So take care. Should I wait for the raid to go through and just ramble on, or will you guys automatically send it when I end? It doesn't matter. I'll end it here, and then you guys will get sent over. Bye. Good luck to Phoebe tomorrow and to Alex, and hope to see you all then.